there is a family of ducks that have taken up residence permanently, like built a village, like in my parents' pool. They have a nice rock structure and a waterfall. And so Dad wants to be in service of the ducks, right? And protect them. So he felt like the bobcat was coming for the duck eggs.
Hi there, and welcome into a brand new week on Celebrity Salute, dedicated to the men and women who serve our country in active duty, our veterans and their families. We're here for you. God bless you. We love you. On each episode, we look for people and stories with some connection to these heroes. I'm Randy Mueller. Actor Charlie Sheen has received numerous accolades, including a Golden Globe Award, as well as nominations for 4 Primetime Emmy Awards and 3 Screen Actors Guild Awards. In 1994, he received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Charlie followed in the footsteps of his father, Martin Sheen, in becoming an actor. He has starred in many successful films such as Red Dawn, Platoon, Wall Street, 8 Men Out, Major League, Hot Shots, The Three Musketeers, and many others. He replaced Michael J. Fox as the star of ABC's Spin City, and in 2010, he was the highest paid actor on television, earning almost $2 million per episode of 2.5 Men. Charlie Sheen, now sober for 8 years, has a new documentary on Netflix, a.k.a. Charlie, and a new memoir, The Book of Sheen. We are happy to have Charlie Sheen back with us here on Celebrity Salute. Hey, there he is.
Hey, Randy, how are you, man?
Great, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
How's the milk?
Pretty good. The milk is going to make it. The milk survived the journey. Yes, it did.
I got to tell this story. So, yeah, we had a set time for the interview, and I called and you didn't answer. And then you called me back and you said you were just at the store. You wanted to make sure your milk didn't go bad. I can imagine years ago when you called Charlie Sheen's house and he didn't answer, there was a national manhunt.
That's awesome. Yeah, there's a 1,000,000% chance back then.
Right.
It had nothing to do with
milk.
with milk. Yeah. At least not the type they sell in a supermarket.
Right.
Good gosh, man. Good gosh. And yet here we are. You know, it's a trip, Randy. I was looking at I saw the email chain, and it's like 2019 was.
Yes.
Was that really our last correspondence?
You know, I did the same thing, and I couldn't believe it was 2019, the last time we had you on the show. And
was it something I said?
It was just, I think like the rest of the world, it was just Charlie Sheen is everywhere, and then Charlie Sheen could not be found for a while.
Interesting. Wow.
And you said something. Well, first of all, you get the 2-part documentary out, a.k.a. Charlie, on Netflix, which I've seen, part 1 and part 2. Appreciate
right on. Right on.
And then the Book of Sheen, your memoir,
yes.
which is out. And I loved the Instagram where you go in and into a bookstore and buy your own book. That was great.
Oh my gosh. Okay, thank you. Because I told Betsy Berg is she's mentioned in my book. And mentioned fondly because she's the reason that I got my sample packet into the hands of my publisher. So Betsy's been with me on this whole journey with the book, and it's amazing. I said to her, hey, just film this because, and I don't, I think you've noticed I don't film a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Right.
Take pictures of my food. I don't freaking talk to the camera on aisle 7 at pavilions, right?
Right.
Because nobody cares. Nobody cares, right? And so, but I said, film this because it could turn into something. And otherwise, let's just document that this is a real moment for me. I didn't even plan on publicizing it, right? Or disseminating it.
That was great.
And then when I walk up, and first of all, I'm waiting because the guy won't stop talking to the lady in front of me. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. And I finally get up there and I say, hey there, I'm here to buy my own book. And no response, nothing.
Right,
I was expecting some confetti, maybe those horns that go off.
Confetti cannon. Right, sure.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Nothing.
Smoke.
Right. So I'm already kind of like, all right, let's try a different tact. And I said, I'd like to believe that this will wind up on your list, right? And then just hoping he would sort of get with the program,
something
like in the middle of it, anything,
right?
Anything. Check that man for a pulse, right? And so
the guy had a complete charisma bypass.
He did. Yeah, he was a charisma donor, and he'd just come from the clinic that day, and they drained all of it, right?
And he's looking at you, and he says, "Well, yeah, I'll put it on my list."
And then he started talking about his list. I don't know if we left any of that into the post. He went into a diatribe, a monologue, a soliloquy about this book he was reading about ancient tribalism and and all this crazy stuff. And I was just nodding through it, and downloading none of it. I mean, but anyway,
there was no tiger blood in that man.
There was none. But I did. That's why I came up with that caption of. Turns out the New York Times isn't the only list I'm hoping to wind up on, you know?
And the thing I came away with from your documentary, first of all, credit on just being super candid and super open to all of that.
Thank you.
It really made me want to come clean about my life. I mean, except, the sheep deal. But
right. Yeah, I mean, some stuff.
You got
some stuff we got to keep tucked away. Yeah,
I get it. Yeah. But you and your dad played basketball with Michael Jordan.
We did, and it's a story that can't be fabricated because it's all on video.
Yeah,
in front of a gymnasium of screaming high schoolers.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was pretty nuts. And just, I think over time, sort of the legend of that thing has grown, and people would, I'd talk about it like out in the world or a dinner party or something like, no, you didn't. And I'm like, you can look it up. And then,
and you beat him.
Well, yes and no.
Well,
I mean, we did. And it was fair and square inside of the rules structure of that day. Right. And so, yeah, like the free throws, he had to close his eyes. Right. But he still shot. What did he shoot? He shot 11 or.
Yeah. Right. Double digits. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And the game of horse, he destroyed us because he did things that Dad and I had never seen before.
How old is your dad? How old is your dad right now?
He turned 85 in August.
Man, the Sheen genes are strong. I interviewed him a couple of years ago. And,
right on.
And it was so funny. In the middle of the interview, he starts freaking out, and he goes, "What's your mom? What's
Janet?
Janet, hey, there's a cougar out there. There's a cougar.
Oh, in the backyard? That's hilarious.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
And he thinks he's going to get the little dog. And he's
right. He's my sister's little dog, Win. Yeah.
And he's telling, hey, hang on. Hey, Janet, gotta get him. And he comes back after a while and he goes, I'm so sorry. I said, are you kidding me? I said, that's the best thing that's ever happened in an interview. I said, that was just
that'll make for some good radio.
Oh,
that'll make for good radio for sure.
So good. That was so good.
Now, I'm not a real outdoors type. Are cougars and bobcats like in the same kind of phyla or genus or category?
It could have been. Yeah, it might have been a mountain lion.
It was not a mountain lion.
It might have been a mountain lion.
For a fact.
It could have been.
I don't think it was a mountain lion. I think it was a bobcat.
The other
what's the smallest of that whole group?
Kitten. Kitten.
Right. Okay.
That's the smallest.
Step up from kitten.
I think it's a bobcat. I think
bobcat.
Yeah, we've got
I think it was a
bobcats where we
bobcat.
live. Yeah, we got.
He has a there is a family of ducks that have taken up residence permanently, like built a village, like in my parents' pool. They have a nice rock structure and a waterfall, and so Dad wants to be in service of the ducks, right, and protect them. So he felt like the bobcat was coming for the duck eggs.
Okay. Maybe that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Dad's not a gun guy. I think he's made that very clear.
Yes. Right. Yeah.
But
yes,
he keeps a basket of tennis balls and golf balls like right next to the door. So when any of these predators come roaming through his backyard, he just wings golf and tennis balls at them. So
when the last time we talked was 2019, you were probably what, 2 years into your sobriety then? Pretty close.
If it depends if it was late 2019, because I put down the bottle late 2017. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I stayed the course, Randy. I stayed the course, man. How about that?
I knew that you were staying the course, but man, when I watch a documentary, I'm thinking Charlie Sheen has done enough drugs for all of us.
Exactly.
And
yes.
I mean, that's such a credit to you to be on your path now, man. I'm so excited for you, and it's got to be so golly. I mean, just eye-opening, and like the world is brand new to you.
Well, it is, and it isn't. The brand new stuff will come in flashes, right? And that's great. Those are the moments that you can't plan, and I always. Yeah, I can't say I look forward to them if you can't plan them, but those are the ones that really kind of keep me jazzed about the choices I've made and stuck to, you know. But the stuff that is like I've had stints or patches or decent runs of booze free, dope free.
Sure.
Life over the years, and I was actually adding it up. I don't know if I said this on a podcast or, but it's right around 27 years of my 60 that I haven't had, that I wasn't a drinker, that I wasn't doing any drugs. So it's like, if you think about it that way, that's almost 50%. That's
I was going to say that's half your life.
48.5.
Yeah.
I'm not near a calculator, and others that are just proved me to be a math moron, and that's fine. That's fine. I make no claims. I make no claims otherwise, you know.
And did you really get cut off by the Mexican cartel for trying to buy too much coke?
I did. In fact, that story is in the book in a way that that's the thing about the doc and the book is the stories that just needed more explanation and just more detail. Those continue in the book. In a way that
were you like in the Coke of the Month Club? I mean, how does the cartel?
If there wasn't one, they started it that month. I was the inaugural member. How about that?
Poster child.
Exactly. No, it was a thing where I was acquiring so much weight product, however you want to call it, right?
Yeah.
They had never seen that much, that kind of weight go to one person who wasn't dealing. So they thought we had a problem that like, and if I was dealing, whatever, as long as I got permission from their shot callers, right?
Right.
They would have been fine with it, taking their 40%, and Bob's your uncle, right? I mean, Bob's your dead uncle, I should say.
Right, exactly.
So Bob's your uncle hanging off a city bridge.
There's Bob over there.
Yeah, there. Well, kind of look. Yeah, that is Bob. Jesus. So then Marco, who's in the doc, who had to go back to them and say, "No, you have to believe me."
That may be my favorite guy, Marco.
Yeah, no, he kind of stole the show, didn't he?
Oh my gosh,
he stole the freaking show, man.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
But so he goes back and he says, "You have to believe both of us." There's no dealing. There's nothing. We would never do that. We are noble business partners. No, we are noble customers rather. And so yeah, so it was a little touch and go there for a minute.
That is crazy.
Yeah, wow. I know.
But the other thing from what I got out of that was that everybody, I don't care how you treated them at the time, they all still love you. I mean, you can just tell Denise. I mean, man, she just loves you, or at least that's what it appears to me.
Well, that appearance is the truth.
Yeah,
and it's that's the stuff in the doc that I'm really grateful for with her and Brooke as well.
Right.
That because when you have kids,
right.
It's like the thing where it doesn't matter how you feel or felt or, might feel again about someone those feelings will come and go. But with the children in the mix, it is just about that. It has to be a children first doctrine or edict, right, or however you want to describe it. And in that, with that, that's the most important element in the mix, right, that did lead to everyone deciding that, man, it is so much easier and a lot more fun just to be freaking civil and lead with compassion and forgiveness and just all that good stuff that we all try to integrate somewhere into our daily journey,
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah.
The other thing man, when you did your tour and you were out there, you didn't know what you were talking about. You just, people show up. People went nuts for that. And I asked my wife, I go, that's more about us than about Charlie Sheen, right?
Interesting. Yeah. You mean as far as the energy that
yes,
that was that buoyed the whole.
Everybody wanted
experience.
To be attached to that energy. Everybody wanted to be a part of that frenzy. And
it still baffles me.
Yeah.
It still baffles me. What was so attractive about that to people?
Yeah.
Because the message was as wonk city as it gets, right? Right. A guy who had literally lost everything and was as big of a, I don't want to say loser, but but stuck in a losing moment or just a losing maelstrom of a hurricane wrapped inside of a volcano, being, flooded by a tsunami. Like there was nothing about that should have been described as winning. So the mixed messaging there, I think needs a deeper dive, Randy.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say?
Well, hey, first of all, that's the first time the word maelstrom has ever been spoken on this show, so thank you for that. And
hopefully used correctly.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
But
cool.
People, they showed up in droves. You sold out every city. You came to Kansas City and sold out. I mean, just everywhere you went, people wanted to be a part of that. But I think also, and not to get too much into it, but I think that's also a part of your personality and your charm and what you bring to every role that I've ever seen is that you can't be despicable enough. I mean, whatever bad things you've done, it just seems
that's nice to hear.
Well, I mean,
that's nice to hear. Thank you. It's I don't know if you caught Bill Maher a couple weeks ago or last week. I've lost track of time with this thing. He said, you're a good guy who did some bad things.
Yeah.
And people love a comeback. And even though I'm calling it more of a reset than a comeback, because, you have to have gone somewhere to come back. And I feel like I've always sort of been, even in a peripheral capacity, I've always sort of been pretty close to the action,
Well, it boggles my mind too, Charlie, to think about how people, I mean, when it's about money, man, everybody cares about you until it's about money. And then,
oh yeah, then all bets are off.
All bets are off, and especially with the Chuck Lorre, episode of getting you back on 2.5 Men, and I loved, I actually loved the negotiating aspect of that, because you didn't care seemingly to even go back. You didn't feel like you were ready to work again, and so you just kept rejecting their offer until they got to $2 million an episode.
Yeah, at that point, I was like, how difficult can this job really be?
right.
And then, oh, wait a minute, how difficult can I make it?
Yeah.
I mean, think about that. What the hell, man? What was I thinking?
I just wish you'd held out for $2.5 million.
You know what I'm saying?
That would have been so apropos.
Just for that headline.
Yes, absolutely.
2.5 now costs them 2.5. Yeah, that's kind of awesome. That's kind of awesome. The men now have specific values attached.
Right.
That's hilarious.
Hey, how old were you when you made Platoon?
I was 20.
And thank you again for that. I didn't.
Oh no!
I didn't realize the hell you went through making it.
Well, it's interesting because that's the only set in the book where I really drill down into that's the only one where I really set up shop and tell some stories that Paul Sanchez, who did a wonderful job with Brothers in Arms, the documentary.
Yeah.
But there's certain things that I wasn't able to either remember in the moment or just deliver in a way that I thought those stories deserved, and so I put them in the book. And Platoon was such a turning point, not just career-wise, but personally and emotionally and all that other stuff. And so. And also, as far as forever connected strand, a link to the military,
and not just to the military,
both past and present and future,
and to your dad. And to
my dad. Yeah. So that's why I devoted so much time to it in the book.
Oh,
and
I
there's
gotta read that.
Yeah, there's some really cool stuff in there. I think people are gonna appreciate, and I think the servicemen and women, and I'm hoping retired, active duty, thinking of joining, right? I think they're going to appreciate my awareness of some of the military shorthand, and my usage of terms that the average bear doesn't know unless you're around it, unless you've had to create the realistic fictional version of it. Well, because the thing I can't stand, a thing I have to tolerate, but then correct people, is when they say, "Wow, man, you must really know what that conflict was like," and I don't, and I will never claim to.
Right.
Because we got to go to lunch. After we weren't dodging supersonic 762 under a dark canopy I remember in the mud. You know what I'm saying?
I remember talking to Tom Hanks about Band of Brothers, and the one thing that you always will find out from any service people ever is when you are recreating something like that and you get it wrong. That's when you hear from them.
Right.
Why would you ever hold a gun like that? Why would you, and they pay attention to that. But that's why I think, again, Platoon comes off so well, because it's just so, every little part of it is well done. So
awesome. Thank you. And that is largely in part, if not entirely, due to the presence of Captain Dale Dye.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Retired USMC captain. And he was up on our grills and on our asses to make it, to just not miss, or overlook, or offend a single detail that had to be germane to the sequences and the scenes, you know.
And I often remind people on this show that I did not serve, and I consider this my service. But I started this show almost 14 years ago now with a Vietnam vet by the name of Jerry Newberry, and Jerry has passed.
I'm sorry.
He passed last year, as a matter of fact. And
oh, damn.
He was a Vietnam vet that taught me everything I needed to know about talking to the military. I can remember vividly going up to somebody, a veteran, saying, Happy Memorial Day. And Jerry yanks my head around and says, you never say that. Never say that.
Wow. Yeah.
And those are some important lessons that I've learned, over the years. But
people tend to confuse Memorial with Veterans Day.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. And
yeah. When they say in memoriam, it's we're talking about that, not the other.
Yeah.
But that's the only time you ever did it, I'm sure.
Oh,
right?
It's the only time I ever did it. And I can remember one other thing when I was getting a challenge coin from someone who slips it. Have you ever had it? I'm sure you've had a challenge coin. I'm sure you have.
We had the SEALs version of it.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, they slip it into your hand. It's supposedly unnoticed. And then you're supposed to not acknowledge it and put it in your pocket. Well, the first time somebody a sergeant major handed me one, and I look at it, oh, wow, thank you. This is, and Jerry, again, come here, let me talk to you.
Wow, that's a young man. That's an under the radar moment.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Wow.
Speaking of military terms, Charlie, we got a segment called Got Your Six. It's 6 delicate questions for Charlie Sheen. You ready?
Okay. Yeah.
Your favorite?
Fire away.
Like you're not an open book.
Right.
Favorite TV show right now? What's your favorite TV show?
Favorite TV show?
Got anything you're binging? Anything you finished?
Nothing. I haven't been watching a lot because of all the prep for the press tour and all of that. The focus and the time that required.
We'll also accept favorite stand-up comic.
Favorite stand-up comic. I'd probably be better with favorite TV show. Oh man, it would.
Well,
usually
don't stump people on the first one.
No, I know. Good start, Sheen. Yeah. Wow. Rapid fire my ass. Wow. This is like ancient bolt action nonsense. Hold on. So, I'm just trying to think about something that I actually enjoy that I would recommend. They're kind of few and far between these days.
That's true.
Give me a minute on that one.
Ozark.
Give me a minute on that one.
Okay. All right.
Ozark was pretty great.
Yeah.
That was pretty badass.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Last time you had a massage?
Last time I had a massage was actually on my birthday on 9/3, just a few weeks ago. Yeah. And what I did, because I didn't want to carve my parents out of the birthday thing, I had a nice lunch with them the day before on the 2nd, and then on the 3rd, I said I'm turning 60. And I'm going to do that thing that I want to do every year, but always get talked out of. I went to a spa by myself, just locally, right over the hill here, and just treated myself to spa stuff and got a massage that felt like Rolfing.
Yeah,
where they get a little too close to the bone.
You had the deep tissue.
Yeah. So that was, but prior to that, it had been a few years.
Yeah. I love a good massage. I hate a bad massage, but I love a good massage.
Yeah. Bad massage. Like there should be a place where you can report those people.
Yeah. Right.
Not for sexual, just for weak.
You're right.
Why would you become a masseuse if you have no hand strength?
Where do I get the bad hands board? I'm going to report you to the. Ever used a dating site?
Yeah, for one day.
Really?
For one day, yeah. And it was this gorgeous Korean gal, and we started communicating. And I obviously just said on the site, like, who I was. I didn't know if I put a picture, then I can't use a fake name. And she was really cool. And so we got together, had a lot of fun. And then I said, hey, I'm going to this thing tonight. Do you want to go with me? It's just a little gathering at a buddy's house. And she was like, sure. And I brought her there, and it was to Matthew Perry's place, right? And I don't think he would mind me telling this. He was a terrific man. And so we walk in, and they see each other, and they're like, oh my God, hi, and give each other a hug. And so he had gone on the same site for like a day and had a couple dates with her.
What are the chances?
How about that? And then I bring her to his thing. I know.
That's good. That's good.
So that's my whole experience with a dating site, you know?
What's the weirdest place you've ever had sex?
I know the Family Feud answer to that.
Right.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I interviewed him, and he swears that never happened.
Interesting, because I've heard both sides. I've heard that it happened and that it didn't happen. But if it was literally on that show, wouldn't there be archival of it somewhere?
Yeah, you would think so. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. Where's my nervous sex? Gosh. Oh, Jesus. I can't say with who, just because, you know.
Yeah.
In a cemetery.
In a cemetery?
In a cemetery. In the Hamptons during Wall Street.
Oh,
how about that?
Wow.
Yeah, I think I was the revenge version of what had preceded it. That I didn't have the full story. I was like, sure,
you're right.
That headstone looks sexy enough.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, why the hell not?
Was it Halloween?
It was not Halloween.
Okay,
it was not Halloween.
And what is the best advice you've ever been given?
Best advice I've ever been given, outside of watch your six and keep your head on a swivel, back to back in a circle. I'm
sure your dad had some words of wisdom.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, in the doc, getting the advice from Slash.
Yeah.
On the day of the thing, at the court, right before the courthouse, and it's also in the book, saying, "Hey, man, I've seen the worst of the worst, and you eclipse them." And so he said, "You go today, or you're going to die." Yeah. Yep. So, and I'm not taking anything from Dad, because he's given similar advice in similar situations. You mean in like a not rehab sort of setting, or not partying sort of setting?
I kind of like the the advice that Clint Eastwood gave you during your intervention on the phone.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah. You got to. What's the quote from the doc exactly?
He says, "You're too good a guy to screw this up," or something like that, and you got to, and then you went to the intervention.
No, it was the very end of the intervention. He was the closer. Yeah, and and I say in the book, it's really hard to say no to Dirty Harry.
Yeah,
Man,
it is so great to talk to you, Charlie. I'm so glad that everything great is happening to you right now.
Thank you. Thank you. No, it's exciting. It's exciting. And it's like I couldn't people say, well, why now with the book, with the doc, with the book, it's first of all, why not now? Right.
Right.
But also is, if I waited longer, I didn't want to start misremembering the stories or forgetting them completely, or the details that really matter to those moments, those events.
I'm going to go,
but also that there's finally enough distance between all of that chaos and all of those poor choices and just, you know, all the insanity to really have some perspective and really kind of sit inside of it and say, okay, all right, this is, you know, this now gets to be told by a guy who shouldn't be alive to tell it.
Right.
And so I think that's steeped in such gratitude that that it's like and also if you think about it, I don't know that there's going to be another Hollywood story quite like this one for a very long time.
Yeah. No,
so
absolutely.
I felt like
absolutely.
it was an important one to deliver to my fans, to the public, to the industry, to myself, you know, and in just a way that just not as like a big cautionary tale with a big, you know, moral of the story ending like that, but just about like, you know, lest we forget that this is how these things can go. But I don't see one going like this for a hot minute, you know?
The thing I love about it, especially for our audience, is there are so many stories that we hear every single day of veterans that transition out, that come back completely messed up. And I want every one of them to watch this documentary because you went through such a unique and incredible experience and came out on the other side of it. I want everybody that's listening right now to watch that and understand that you can do it too. And I think that is also a very important message of what you are bringing.
Thank you. I would also encourage them to read the book.
Yes,
because there's a lot of downtime on those bases.
I'm going to go buy. I'm going to go buy your book today, and I'm going to film I'm going to film myself buying it.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes.
I hope you encounter a slightly more enthusiastic clerk.
I will report back.
Amazing.
Charlie,
amazing.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you for the time. And
it is always a pleasure. Can you make me one promise?
Yes, please.
That it will not be another 6 years before we do this
absolutely.
again.
Absolutely. Yeah. Anytime, Charlie.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
This is awesome, Randy. Thank you.
You've been listening to Celebrity Salute. Celebrity Salute is produced by Brainstorm Media and distributed by National Defense Network, with host Randy Mueller and executive produced by Nate Herron. Be sure to visit us at nationaldefensenetwork.com. This podcast is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, or wherever you get your podcasts. You can also say, Alexa, play the National Defense Network podcast.